the emotions as a fan that you went through tonight had to be. I mean, how many heart attacks did we have tonight?
Dude.
I felt like I was playing in the game, bro. I had the volume on sports mode on my Samsung TV, sports mode 99 volume all the way up, boosting the arena atmosphere, the chance of defense with my surround sound. It was crazy in my living room tonight. And man, bro, we did it. We won this game. And let's be honest, the human element, the way the Celtics came out to start this game, the way the Celtics shot the 3 ball in the first half, you were thinking, bro, if we don't come out in this third quarter, it might be another long night for us again. And now you're thinking about all the negatives and the narratives and the momentum. You would have signed up for 2-2, but it would have been a different feeling type of 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then you saw the way they come out in the third quarter, in the first 2 possessions, they allow 2 easy layups, 2 banking layups, and you start to think, oh, here we go. And then the captain, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, a little bit of Karl Anthony Towns. You talk about a full team effort, a legacy performance by Jalen Brunson. I'm going to say that again. A legacy defining superstar performance. When you talk about the talking heads and the topics in mainstream media, he's entered that club of scrutiny. He's entered that club of the microscope. He's entered that club of pressure where your team needed you tonight to be a killer. Your team needed you tonight to take over. Your team needed you tonight to be a captain. And boy, was he one. Boy, did he ramp it up there in the second half where I was telling him, Brunson, every time that you're aggressive, every time you don't hesitate, every time you don't hesitate on this fake stutter drives, you perform, and good things happen when he has that mindset and mentality. And he made the adjustments in the second half. Derek White and Jrue Holiday had no chance tonight.
0.
And the New York Knicks pull off a victory. They're up 3-1. And Alex, fans in the chat, CP, who's going to come on a little bit later, CK, Knicks Nation, Knicks Twitter, Knicks Reddit, Knicks Real GM, Knicks everything. The Knicks fans at the slate, at the watch parties, the New York Knicks are 48 minutes away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
My God.
My goodness.
My God. And JD, I couldn't be more proud of this team, especially for this game. Like you talked about it, especially it would have been a different feeling, right? If it was just 2-2, and sure, we would have signed up for a 2-2 series, but to win 2 and then lose the next 2, you give the Celtics momentum. If that were the case, that's obviously not the case at this point. And to me, this was a critical game that the Knicks had to win. They had to win this one just to put the Celtics back on their heels, to show that they were in control of this series. And that is what they exactly did tonight. I mean, you talk about a complete team effort. It was. Like every single aspect of this game, even down to your 6th and 7th guy, Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson. How impactful was Mitchell Robinson tonight? How impactful was he just getting second chance opportunities, hustling for boards, keeping possessions alive, limiting the Celtics in how many possessions that they had tonight? It was a complete team effort for this squad, man. And look, it's just to see this team take it up another notch against an opponent that has had their number all season long. And even in game 3, it looked like they still had their number, right? But yet they came out here and they continued to grind all 48 minutes. I mean, that third quarter alone, I know it was Jalen Brunson with 18 points, but let's look what Tom Thibodeau did. He left those starters in. He made a statement to say, I believe in my guys. All right, we can look at all the stats, the analytics that have come out, how it's been the worst lineup in this series. Been a minus. But Tim said, I believe in this lineup. I believe in my guys to get it done. And that they did, man. I am just so proud to watch how they performed tonight. The switching was spectacular. They seriously clamped up in the third quarter. Clamped up. They forced the Celtics into tough decision making, forcing them, causing turnovers, getting out in transition. That's how you're going to beat this team, and they did that.
I give Boston credit for pacing the Knicks in terms of waking up and understanding the task at hand, because the game started off in a way where it was just like, here we go again. And give credit, man. The Celtics were red hot. White, Tatum, Brown, everybody killing the Knicks. 50% from the field, 50% from three. You know, there was times when I felt like the Knicks, even though they were playing fast, I thought they were almost out of control at times. They were trying to, you know, maintain and then giving the Celtics more possessions to kill them. More, they were handing them the knife to stab them. But give them credit, man. Second half, hey, Cap is Cap. You know, just leading the way. He needed this game. They needed this game from him tonight. Saturday was 27. It wasn't enough. 39 points, 12 dimes, 14 of 25, 4 of 8 from the field, 1 turnover. Captain Clutch, to be exact. Amazing game tonight. And as the last caller said, I think it was Anthony. Big up to Anthony. Big up to Graba as well. I really enjoyed his call on the way home. Going shot for Tatum in that fourth quarter, man. This reminded me of, you know, when the Bulls were up at 93. I mean, when the Knicks were up at 93 on the Bulls 2-0. Or when, like, you know, you're going up against Kobe. And it's just like, oh, man, like, don't tell me these guys are going to get it. But Cap went shot for shot with him. And bro, that Mikal fourth quarter, man, oh man, did it again. Shout out to Tibbs. Did we shout out to Tibbs yet? I don't know if I caught that part. But anyway, I'll let y'all go. Mikal, oh my God, that is why you traded the 5 picks. Because look, even though again you look at the stat sheet, Cap was good, 23-11. Mikal's fourth quarter was everything for this team that they needed. Forget the campaign experiment. Thank you, Tibbs. 4 minutes is good enough for us. We're good here. Mikal Bridges. Run the offense through Mikal. Shot creator. Get him into his mid-range. He can deliver for you. 23.7 rebounds, 11 to 21 from the field. He was brilliant tonight and a plus 14. I also enjoyed just even off of one play, just again running Brunson off ball. How about that curl screen from sideline to sideline? That was nice.
I don't think there's been one time that they've run Brunson in off ball action. I don't think there's been one time that they've run it and it's turned into a negative play. Whether he gets the open 3 or he gets the catch and pass, gives it to a cutting player. You saw that one time when he did it to Josh Hart in the previous game in game 2. Like, that action always leads to a positive play when the Knicks do that for Brunson.
Always. Got 5,000, almost 6,000 people in. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Like, share, and subscribe. That was beautiful to see and to be executed. Great job by the team. Great play call. We need more of it. Cap off ball works. It just works very well. And so just their grit and determination, just understanding the moment, because the Celtics understood the moment from the opening tip. They understood the moment. And I'm watching Derek White. I mean, his eyes were, you know, just laser focused. Tatum, laser focused. Brown, like these guys, Pritchard, laser focused. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, can we meet this moment? Because the champs are playing like the champs again. And, you know, the second half was just ferocious. I'm just ripping off a lot of things before we get to the calls. Hell, I thought that one of the biggest wins of the night was OG coming back from the hammy and finishing the game. That's just next to my guy right now.
Rebound Brunson.
Yo, that was
Back
an
up,
underrated
shot is good.
Right, you know what I mean?
Brunson and
OG
Tatum
coming
throwing
back
haymakers
to
at
close
each
out
other.
and play strong, close out strong.
And he
good
came back and
defense from
started
White,
dunking, knocking
Brunson
down
still
threes,
looking,
playing top
falling
tier
away,
defense.
puts it up.
That was like, oh.
Bro,
How many Willis Reed moments are we going to have, guys? It's OG, it's Brunson. How many guys are going to have their Willis Reed moment coming out of the tunnel?
I'm telling you, though, this is part of the journey that is being written, the story that's being written of this team, CP, where is all this unconventional things are happening. How is it? Can someone explain to me how many times we've gone through this with OG this season, where last season we didn't have that luck?
Yeah.
Remember what happened against the Lakers? We thought the season was over. How is it that he's grabbing his hamstring? He goes up for the layup, the ball barely hits the rim because he felt something midair. And how is it that he's grabbing his hamstring? I saw him for a few possessions looking stiff, and I immediately thought about the Pacers game 7.
Crazy, bro.
And how is it that he grabs his hamstring after we just saw what happened with Steph Curry, after we just see what happened around the NBA with a few guys getting the hamstring hurt, and OG of all people gets to go to the locker room and come back in the same game? Like, how is this real, OG? How is it that he's healthy?
I'll tell you how. It's our time, man. It's our time. You know. Luck is a part of the game, man. And so, look, as much as it was tough to see Tatum going down, and clearly it looked like an Achilles thing, and they showed him getting wheeled out. I don't I don't listen to a lot of the Celtics, ramblers like the Portnoys, and I don't care about what they got to say. The Knicks were going to win that game regardless. Him being hurt, hey, series not over, still got to close it, but just look at last year with the Knicks and the team that they had going into this. We were one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals had it not been for a Josh Hart oblique injury. It happens. Julius was out. It happened. Look at the team that the Knicks went into the playoffs with last year.
Mitch came back from an injury, bro.
No Mitch, huh?
Mitch came back from an injury that season. Don't forget.
And then dipped, right? And then got injured again by an Embiid dirty play. And Embiid called karma for that this year. See you later. So, again, it all comes back around. It is their time right now.
Let's get to key stats of the night, brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code KFTV to get to $1,000 in instant bonus cash and a free pick. So let's talk about the stats tonight, JD. All right, obviously the best one. Knicks won this one, 121 to 113. That's my favorite stat. But going through it, we see that Knicks won the rebounding battle, 52 to 41. You see that the Knicks also won the assist battle, 25 to 15. Knicks would not win the steal battle. They lost 8 to 5. They would tie the block battle 2 to 2. Same things with the turnovers. Both teams had 12 turnovers. And then the Knicks, shot better from the field in total. They shot 54%. They got better looks than the Celtics, who shot 48%. From downtown, the Celtics did shoot a little bit better percentage-wise, 38 to the Knicks 35. And then the free throw line, Knicks shot 75% while the Celtics shot 73. And when we look at points of the paint, that's where the Knicks really dominated, 64 to 32. Celtics did not want to attack the paint at all. They were more than happy to settle for threes. Knicks won the second chance opportunities as well because they were battling in the paint, 15 to 9, and they tied the fast break points 8 apiece. But to me, man, it was always about the work in the paint tonight. And when the rebounding battle, you saw that because they put Mitch out there early in the first quarter to pair with Karl-Anthony Towns and even saved him in the fourth quarter. You saw that he was fresh, healthy enough, made an impact early, and they didn't want to go to hack and Mitch because he came into the game early. So with that, they were able to control the boards tonight, man. But JD, what are your key takeaways from these stats?
The key takeaway for me, the Knicks, one of the key takeaways for me was the Knicks flat out rebounded the Boston Celtics tonight. 43 to 31. That's been a big story for the Celtics in terms of, their success against us. We've had some comebacks, but we were still getting out rebounded. For us to get 13 offensive rebounds to their 7, 43 total rebounds to their 31, like that was to me the huge difference of the basketball game, because getting 30 defensive rebounds, you were limiting, so many other second chance opportunities. So the 13 offensive rebounds, man, that was huge. We got a lot of them in key moments. Gave us another possession. I mean, just one of the sequences that I think about that looked like backyard basketball there for a second. What about the couple offensive rebounds we got off, launching threes that led to the rhythm Deuce McBride 3 from the elbow?
Mm-hmm.
That looked beautiful in terms of the result, but for a moment there, that felt like, street ball, where let's just launch a 3, rebound, kick out another 3, brisk, kick out another 3, bang. That's how that looked. And the way that Deuce stepped into that 3, congested, because he did it around like 4 players, like it was just crazy. But that sequence right there was only possible because of the offensive rebounds that the Knicks got tonight. And that also adds to the physicality, also adds to Mitchell Robinson's presence, and the hustle of the rest of the team. So to me, the physicality, the rebounding was a big part of tonight's victory.
And that is Key Stats of the Night, brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. People, let me tell you a little bit about Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code KFTV to get to $1,000 in instant bonus cash and a free pick. Yo, when I play Underdog Fantasy, I like to think I know a little bit more than what they're telling me on Underdog. I think I know if I create a ticket, I could probably get a good return out here, all right? And so, look, it's just simple to use. All you got to do is just choose higher or lower, and all you can do is just choose anywhere between 2 to 8 players when you create a ticket. The cool thing is you don't got to stick with one sport. You can mix and match. So you can include, let's say, baseball, basketball, hockey. You can mix any of those sports, even football when it's going. And all you need to do, like I said, is just choose higher or lower. Now, if you choose, let's say, the more picks that you choose, the higher the return will be. So if you go with all 8, there's a larger return. The other cool thing is, if you don't believe all the picks that you select are going to hit, you can go the insured route. So you can still earn a little bit of cash, even if you don't believe all your picks are going to hit. And look, if you don't want to create a ticket for yourself, the other thing you could do is just put on your GM cap, face a bunch of randos, play with your friends, and you can see who could draft the best team and win. Put down a little bear money if you want, and then have bragging rights the next day for saying that you know how to draft the best team possible and that you know who's going to perform on any given night. And so make sure to support our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code to $1,000 in instant bonus cash and a free pick. Your best friend, LD. LD is in the building, man.
Okay, let's go.
Gentlemen, good evening. Good evening.
LD, how
Good
are
evening.
you, sir? How are you, sir?
I'm good. First things first, shout out to Tom
LD,
Thibodeau.
they were up 10 before Tatum, when Tatum got hurt. So
Hold on. Don't do that.
Uh-oh.
Don't do that. Don't do
LD,
that.
you beat me
Right?
to it, man.
No, I'm just saying to your point, it
Right.
still stands, because
But-
I don't want to hear it.
But this is the thing, that I won't take credit for that, because I believe the Knicks will beat both the Cavs or the Celtics with depth. What Tom Thibodeau is showing me, though, is that Tom Thibodeau basketball is winning basketball games. And I just got to give him credit for it. Is it my favorite style? No, on offense. But on defense, though, this is what the Chicago Bulls are doing under him. And another shout out is to Leon Rose, because from the very beginning, his template has been the 04 Pistons. And that's kind of what we're watching right now. You know what I mean? It's just, I just got to give credit to Tom Thibodeau. I can't front. I knew we had the roster overall, but he's not using the entire roster. He's using the guys he's been using all season. And he is demolishing Missoula. He's demolishing Missoula. This actually started out, it was going to be the Jason Tatum game. This is going to be his career-defining playoff game. It ended up being the Knicks game and the Jason Tatum game in the worst way. Because something happened yesterday with the Pacers and Cavs, and the way tonight's game ended is going to shift the entire East. The guy we should have drafted in Halliburton and the guy we did draft in Obi Toppin made the guy we wanted to trade for, Donovan Mitchell, quit. That's one. Number two, Jason Tatum going down is the worst thing that could possibly happen for the Boston Celtics, because this offseason they were already going to change their roster anyway. They couldn't afford it. But now, most likely, I hope he's doing good, get well soon, but he's most likely out for the entire next season, right? And it's looking like this East is shaping up to be the Knicks dictating the pace. It's kind of looking like that. Obviously, the job's not done. We still got one game to win to get into the Eastern Conference Finals. But shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Definite shout out to Leon Rose. I cannot stop emphasizing that enough because he's done his job to perfection. And lastly, but of course, shout out to the players, every single one of them. As I've said from the beginning, there will be no Pritchard hype. There will be no Sam Hosser hype. There will be no freaking Lou Cornett. None of these dudes will get overhyped over our roster. God bless these dudes from start to finish. That was just an amazing game. Celtics fans, please do not try to rewrite history. I hope your boy gets better, but y'all were getting dog walked before he went down. I just want to make sure history remembers that. You know what I mean? But great game, though.
Well,
Great
you know what,
game.
man, LD, man, and we'll let the good people in the chat rate that. We got 6,000 people in the chat. Rate that call in the chat. What did you think about that chat? 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Between 1 and 5, what did you guys think? We're going to let the new people in the chat rate your call, man. But, history will say on today, May 13th, Tuesday, you're giving a lot of credit to Tibbs, man. I have nothing else to say. So
I've given him credit. I've given him credit. I did give him credit. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not going to front and say this is what I expected the Knicks to do to win against the Boston Celtics. He's doing it the way he does it. I just believed in our roster overall. You know what I'm saying? I said I do not fear the Celtics. Definitely do not fear the Cavs. I told you I do not fear Donovan Mitchell and Kenny Atkinson in the playoffs. Let's not ignore the fact that the Cavs quit yesterday. Let's just make sure that's clear. Donovan Mitchell quit. Imagine Donovan Mitchell was our Jalen Brunson. Do you think Jalen Brunson would ever quit? Ever?
So wait a second. So what happened to all that, CPB capping, all that serenading?
Oh no, CP still be capping though. CPB capping. But hold on though. Do you remember why CPB capping though? Hold on. Don't run. Do you remember why CPB capping?
I'm on the show. I can't run.
CPB capping because CP says we ain't got the roster. That's why
No,
CPB
no. Don't try to move the goalposts.
No, what is it though? What was the point?
Did you not say I was capping for the coach?
Yeah, for that game, of course.
Oh,
100%.
Okay.
For that game specifically.
Everything.
No. Why are you forgetting stuff though? Why are you forgetting stuff? You said every time we lose, I blame the coach. I said no. I blame the coach for that game. Again, I keep telling folks.
So now you praise the coach for this game.
I pray 100% because he's done his job. Because he's done his job the way he does it, and he's proved me wrong. It's not my favorite style, but I'm not going to front. If he's doing things and he's winning in his way, God bless him. But I've always said we have the roster. We have the roster to contend where we don't even need these dudes to do this much. But kudos to him for getting the most out of his players and dog walking the Celtics.
Okay.
God bless the dude. I would never ever front. I'll say it like it is. You know what I mean? But the job's not done though, so let's not celebrate too much. We got to close it out and go to the Eastern Conference. Before I go though, it's looking like the Knicks might have the best player in the East going forward, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
Okay. Shout out to one of our sponsors, man, at Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Hey, if you guys have been injured, you deserve to be paid. Check out our guys at Morgan & Morgan, man. They've been fighting for the people for over 35 years. Over $25 billion recovered, over 500,000 clients served, with over 1,000 lawyers working, man. Check out our guys at Morgan & Morgan. Once again, fighting for the people. And all law firms are not the same. And one of the best things about Morgan & Morgan is that their fee is free unless you get paid. That's right. It's free unless you get paid. So to check them out, go to forthepeople.com/KFTV. That's forthepeople.com/KFTV. Or you can dial on your cell phone #529 or pound law, which is pound 529 on your cell phone. All right. Shout out to our guys at Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's show.